everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and if you are new, welcome. My name's Lacey and I have this eye condition called keratoconus. That's an eye condition of the cornea that makes the cornea grow outward into a cone-like shape, and that can make doing makeup pretty difficult sometimes. This video is the first part in a two-part series. In this video today, we're talking about how to do a daytime kind of fall or Halloween inspired makeup look. So we're gonna walk through how to make that look in this video. And then in the next video, I take that day look and turn it into a night look. What you're seeing on my face right now is the completed nighttime look. I hope you enjoyed the first part of this series. If you do, make sure you like it. Leave me a comment saying what you like about it. And if you are interested in more videos similar to this and about keratoconus in general, please subscribe. So this is how we're going to do the look. We're starting with the NYX eye primer. I'm just going to put that on my eyeballs. And tapping that in with my fingers, and I put it all the way up to my brows and even put a little underneath my eye too. Okay, and just to give that a little bit of time to set in, I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty primer. Put all over my face. Focusing it on the areas where I have more pores, so kind of, for me that's like my forehead and cheeks, and a little on my chin. Okay, now that the eye primer sat on my eyes a little bit, we can move into the eyeshadow, and we're going to be using the Purex Raw Beauty Kristi palette, and it's the daytime like neutral side. This is the other side. It's much more color. All was great though. I'm grabbing a crease brush that's a little tapered on the tip. It's a Morphe M139. I'm going in with the shade Told You and putting that all through the crease. Just a little transition shade to help everything blend. And we're going for a natural eye shape, so I'm just following my natural crease. Nothing too fancy here. Just getting that color blended out nicely. And just going on the other side, same thing. I start in the center of my lid because that's where I want the most color, and then I blend it in kind of those windshield wiper motions in small little circles all throughout the crease. And you can find your crease by finding the bone right here, and it's kind of underneath your eyebrow. So I'm following the shape of that. Okay, so that's the first step. Any shade that's kind of like a warm toned brown will do for this. You don't need to have this palette to achieve this look. So next I'm going to go in with the shade It Just Does. It's just like a corally peachy color. And I'm going in with the same brush. And I oftentimes just don't see the purpose in using a whole bunch of brushes because they all kind of do the same thing at the end of the day. And it also helps blend your colors together. So I'm just going in a little bit lower than that transition shade. And same thing, starting in the center of my eye and working it out. And just following the natural shape of my eye. You'll notice I'm holding my brush at like a nice 90-degree angle. So it's going straight into the crease. That's going to make the color distribute much more accurately. So you're not blending it all over your whole eye. You're blending it right where you want it. Okay, got those two shades down. And I'm just gonna go in with a larger fluffy brush. This one's also by Morphe, but it doesn't have a number on it. It came in a brush set, but any like kind of large fluffy blending brush will do. And I'm just doing this to make sure that the colors are really blended together. And I'm just being kind of messy with it, to be honest. Okay, I think that's nice and blended. Next, I'm going in with the Morphe M22. This brush is a little fluffy, but it's also a little stiffer, so I like to use that to pack on darker colors. So I'm going to go in with the shade B, warmer but darker brown. And I'm putting that on like the outer edge of the eye and blending it into the two colors that we just put on. So I tap it and then I kind of blend it in a small circle, and then I blend it through the crease just to darken it and blend it all together. And same on the other side. So tap, tap, tap where you want that shade. I always struggle with getting like to look exactly the same on both sides. Like one side always looks better than the other. But that's the struggle with only having good vision in one eye. Struggle's real, but we make it work. Just takes a little more time sometimes. And I'm using the mirror that comes with the palette, so I can get like more up close and personal, but then I have this mirror in front of me so I can kind of gain perspective to make sure that everything's matching. So now I'm going in with looking into the larger mirror just to make sure we're as blended as possible. And I think that's okay. And I'm going to go in with that same fluffy brush as before to just blend it the best I can. Okay, so now I'm going to use the shade Golden Ticket. It's like a golden shimmer shade, and I use my finger for this. I'm just going in a circular motion in the shadow, and then I tap it kind of in like the middle to the inner corner of my eye. I'm trying not to get it into that brown shade we just used, the shade B, and I'm trying not to get it like too much into my crease. Okay, and I'll blend that out in a second, and same thing on the other eye. I like using smaller mirrors when doing my eyeshadow because you can wrap your hand around, or you can go in front. Just a little more versatile. And I always get eyeshadow underneath my eye, on my left eye, only my left eye. So that's a struggle. But this is why I do my eyeshadow first, because I can just clean that up before I do my foundation. And now I'm going to go back in with that very first brush that we used and just blend that shimmer out into the rest of the colors. And I think I lost a little bit of that corally color, the shade It Just Does, so I'm going to go in a little bit more just to revamp that color. Very, very lightly. Okay, and just one final blend with our fluffy blending brush just to get everything nice and cohesive. Okay. Now some days on like a daily basis I don't always go in with anything on my lower lash line, but today I feel like doing that. So I'm just gonna go with the shade Told You. That was the first like warm toned transition shade that was the very first shade we used. I'm just going to go in with an angled brush, and I got this brush a very long time ago at Walgreens, so I don't know if you can find it anymore, but it is just a angled brush on one side and then like a flat brush on the other. So I'm just tapping into that shade And I'm actually going to go in with my larger mirror so I can pull my lid down a little. And just lightly tapping that shade all across the lower lash line. And connecting it to the rest of the look on the top. And same thing on the other side. Now if you have an eyeliner, you can do this with eyeliner, but I don't really like to use eyeliner, so that's how I like to do it. And I know it's not the best to pull your eyelid down, but it's what works for me, so I do it. And then just to add the final touch, I'm going to go in with that shade B again. That like darker kind of warm tone brown. Same brush, same angled brush. And I'm just going to tap that onto the upper lash line. And how I like to do this is I like pull my lashes down so I can see the line. And then do my best to just get it as close to the lashes and my fingers. Right now I am looking with my left eye, which that's my bad eye, so I really can't see what I'm doing. To be honest, like I can see the motion I'm making, but I can't see any detail. So I have to take my time with this step. And I like to just tap. I'm doing like a tapping, pressing motion. And I'm gonna call that good. And I think it'll be easier on my other eye because I can see what I'm doing a little better. I always do my right eye first because that's my good eye, which is kind of ironic because I'm viewing it with my left eye, which is my bad eye. But the reason I do that is because I've had my corneal transplant on my left eye, so I have to be much more delicate with my left eye. So if I'm doing any kind of exploring or experimenting, I like to do that on my right eye just in case I like poke my eye or something. It's a little less detrimental on my right eye compared to my left. So that's why I do it that way. Doing the same thing, just tapping on that upper lash line. And that's how I like to do it. I don't like to have a super defined look for my everyday looks. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now and go into doing my face. So I'll come back to do my mascara in a little bit. the base is done, I like to just go in and retouch anything that might need retouching. So what I notice is that the shape of my right eye is a little different than my left. So I'm just going to fix that a little bit by going in with Told You. That's the very first shade we went in with. And the big thing is it's just the right side's a little more angled than this side. So I'm just trying to make it even. And this is optional. Like if it was a random day, I'd probably just leave it as is if I'm being honest. And then it just does that coral shade. The shade B in that outer corner. This is what's really gonna help me get that same shape on both sides. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Just gonna blend it a little more. I'm also blending that golden shade on the lid a little more. Alright, the last thing I'm going to do is just highlight the inner corner of my eye and my brow bone. I'm doing that with a little Eco Tools. I'm doing that with a little Eco Tools pencil brush and the same highlight shades that I used for my face. I'm going in with that white one. It's kind of a nice white. It's a white highlight, but there's some gold tones in there as well. I like to get it in the inner corner and bring it down onto that lower lash line a little bit. Just blend it with my finger a little bit. And same thing on the brow bone. And I actually lied. The last thing we're going to do is add mascara. This is the Tarte Maneater mascara. I'll put it on top and bottom. I always start with the tips of my lashes. Do a little wiggle wiggle all over. And then that kind of helps to get some length in there, but to get some volume, then I work down to the root and also kind of just wiggle it a little bit. And I don't go too crazy on the lower lash line, just a little bit. And I focus it on the outer corner. I always find that my left lashes, or the lashes on my left eye, are shorter and they're harder to work with than the ones on my right. And I don't know if this is like a scientific fact, but I think the reason why is because I've used steroid drops in my left eye for quite some time. Not currently, but I did for a while. So I think that's the reason why, but I've never researched that, so don't take my word for it. And I think we're done with this day look. Alright, so that was our daytime look. Now this look can be worn to your Zoom meetings, to your Google Meets classes. That's where I'm going to be wearing it because I'm in Google Meets all day long. Or you can wear it to the grocery store to draw that attention away from your mask. So I hope you enjoyed watching me create this look. I hope you try to create it yourself, and if you do, make sure you take a picture of it and send it to me over on Instagram. My handle is @LaceyWithKasey. So thank you again for watching. Make sure you like the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye!